Good morning, class 11. So, here we are again with our another new lecture, and that is with the new chapter. We have finished very successfully with our chapter that is photosynthesis in plants, and now our concentration will be on respiration in plants, right? So now we will discuss about the respiration. Basically, in today's lecture I'm just going to introduce you. I'm not going to start with any kind of cycle. I'm only start with the introduction part, that what is respiration, what is the types of respiration, what is how aerobic is different from anaerobic, right? So otherwise I'm not going to I'm not going to talk about the glycolysis and Krebs cycle in the first go. Just let's see that what is cellular respiration. The process of breakdown of food materials means we have to, now in photosynthesis we have formed the food, and what is food? That is glucose, and glucose has to be broken down. Now glucose has to be, its breakdown has to occur. So when glucose start breaking down, it will, after breaking, it will, what will it release? It will release energy. And what is this process? This process is called respiration, because this is happening in a cell only. This is not occurring outside anywhere. It is occurring inside a cell. So let's see the definition. The process of breakdown of food materials within the cell. Why breakdown? To release energy. And in plants, how they are making these energy, and what is the energy? That is our ATP molecules. So trapping of light energy, it means plants, they are capturing, they are absorbing light energy for the synthesis of ATP in the cell, and this is called cellular respiration. So basically in respiration we are going to talk about the energy. We are going to break down the food materials. Two types of respiration we have, we always discuss, that is the aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic means in the type of respiration when oxygen is required, where like we are aerobic organisms, right? Anaerobic in only during when we do strenuous exercise, continuous exercise, then only there is a little anaerobic portion in the muscles. Otherwise we inhale oxygen. And anaerobic when oxygen is not required. So second definition after cell, you can write down for respiration is, see, glucose is a complex molecule, right? Glucose has to be, ultimately it is a sugar, and it will break down, its bonds has to break down, only then they will release the energy. So which bonds? It can be, if we are talking about proteins, then in proteins many amino acids they are joined together, right? Many amino acids they are joined together to form peptide bond, and if many are there, then polypeptide chain will occur. So basically this bond, peptide bond, has to break, and once this bond will break, then there will be release of energy. Or you can say that protein is a complex molecule, it will break down into the small particles. Same in the glucose there is a bond break, glycosidic bond is breakdown. So breaking of, simply you can say, carbon bonds of any complex compounds, and through the oxidation within the cells. So basically in the if you are oxidizing them in the presence of oxygen, if they are breaking down and they are releasing energy, then again they are called the respiration. And those compounds that are getting oxidized during respiration, they are called respiratory substrate. That is the important term, that one is the oxidation, that it happens through the oxidation process. We already discussed oxidation and reduction in the photosynthesis also. So compounds that are getting oxidized during respiration, they are known as respiratory substrates. Example here we can quote here in the respiration, if we have to see, First is the glucose. Like glucose is a 6 carbon molecule. Now it breaks down into 3 carbon molecule. What is that 3 carbon molecule? That is a pyruvic acid. Glucose is a 6 carbon. You are forming 3 carbon pyruvic acid, so it means you will get 2 pyruvic acid, right? 3 carbon, because it is 3 plus 3, it will be 6 carbon. 6 carbon is getting breakdown into 2 molecules. This 2 is written for 2 molecules, 2 molecules of pyruvic acid. It is actually, if we are talking about the anaerobic respiration, then it is a common step. This glucose breakdown, it is a common step in the anaerobic as well as aerobic respiration. Now the question comes is, where is this happening? It is happening it occurs in the cytoplasm. And what is this process is known as? It is known as glycolysis. Lysis means breakdown, and glycose word we use for glucose. Actually it is a glycose, and this we use for glucose. So here glucose is breaking down, and glucose is breaking down to pyruvic acid. Now where this pyruvic acid will go? What will this pyruvic acid do? So pyruvic acid, it can go through two processes. If this pyruvic acid is in the glucose is breaking down, pyruvic acid is there. If it is in the yeast, pyruvic acid, now it is a 3 carbon, it will form, in the absence of oxygen, it will start forming ethanol and release 2 ATP molecules, right? That is our 10th standard. We discussed in 10th standard also in respiration. Now pyruvic acid, it is a 3 carbon molecule. 3 carbon compound, and we are using two molecules of pyruvic acid. So 3 twos are 6 carbon we have. So now this C2H5OH, it is a 2 carbon, right? It is a 2 carbon here. There we are having, now it is 2 carbon, but we have to break down this. This is changing. We are having here 3 carbon. 3 pyruvic acid is a 3 carbon. So it means where will the 1 carbon will go? So here 1 carbon will be released in the form of carbon dioxide. Again, just listen to me carefully that we have 2 pyruvic acid, 2 molecules of pyruvic acid. Just forget about this 2 molecules. Just concentrate on the pyruvic acid. This is a 3 carbon molecule. It will form ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol is a 2 carbon. It means still 1 carbon is there. So 1 carbon will be released as the CO2. Now because we are using 2 pyruvic acid, so 2 ethyl alcohol will be formed and 2 CO2 will be released. So here total we are having 2 twos are 4, here 2 threes are 6 carbon, and here we will have 2 carbon molecule. You should know that how many number of carbon, how many number of molecules we are getting produced here. If we talk about in muscle cells, pyruvic acid is forming the changing into lactic acid. Now lactic acid is a 3 carbon molecule. So from 2 molecules of pyruvic acid, 2 molecules of lactic acid will be formed, and same 2 ATP will be released, but no CO2 because no carbon is available now. All the 3 carbon, they form the lactic acid. This is the anaerobic respiration. If we talk about aerobic, the first step will be common, that is your glycolysis. That glucose will change into pyruvic acid. It is a common step for aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Then there is Krebs cycle, electron transport chain, and oxidative phosphorylation, in which we are going to form actually ATP. So final result in aerobic respiration is, that is 36 molecules of ATP are there, and as you can see in anaerobic there are only 2 ATPs are produced. And so this will give us idea that what we are going to read in respiration: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, etc. We have to discuss all these steps thoroughly in our respiration chapter. Next is the site of anaerobic respiration. You already know that it is occurs in cytoplasm, but because aerobic respiration has 4 steps, so glycolysis is the common. It is occurs in cytoplasm. Krebs cycle, it will occur in mitochondria. etc, it will occur in inner membrane of mitochondria. As you know that mitochondria is also double membrane organelle, so inner membrane is known as the cristae. So etc will also occur in inner membrane of mitochondria. And oxidative phosphorylation, it will occur in your F0 F0 complex, F10 F1 particles, which are present on the inner membrane of mitochondria. That we will take step by step, one by one, right? So here you have idea now that glycolysis, Krebs cycle is there, etc is there, oxidative phosphorylation is there, which we are going to study in respiration. So this was about the introduction about respiration thing. Now let's see that how you answer these questions. I know that you can easily answer them. Glycolysis is found in cytoplasm of all types of aerobic or anaerobic cells. In this process, glucose is converted into, very easy for you to answer. Mention your answers, always interact with me through the comment section. Now aerobic respiration produces more usable, and aerobic respiration produces more usable chemical energy than fermentation, because fermentation involves formation of lactic acid, complete oxidation of food, or you will say partial oxidation of food, evolution or release of CO2 and alcohol. Again repeating, I'm repeating this question. Aerobic respiration produces more chemical energy than fermentation, because fermentation involves formation of lactic acid, complete oxidation of food, partial oxidation or release of CO2 and alcohol. So this is all about our today's lecture. This is just a very short lecture about the introductory part. From next lecture we are going to start with our process that is called 10-step process, which is called glycolysis. Till then, again I am repeating, take care of your health very well and stay happy and stay blessed.